Mr. Should I call you Mr.? Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Wow, absolute bombshell released this morning that potentially could flip the entire table in terms of what's going on with the Department of Justice and their lawfare suing Trump. Maybe it's even related to these influencers and tenant media and all this kind of stuff. This morning, Steven Crowder released some video footage of the Department of Justice, an employee at the Department of Justice, openly admitting that what they were doing against Donald Trump is wrong, that it is not actual justice, that it is a giant mess. Obviously, this morning, I also reported on Judge Merchant is being sued by America First Legal for not disclosing his financial records. Things are building. Things are absolutely building here. There's something going on. There's some momentum being built against the corrupt Justice Department, and I'm absolutely here for it. So let's get into that. Before we do, super quick word from this video sponsor, Sheath. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Sheath. Sheath makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn. If you're sick of boxers that are too loose or briefs that are too tight, Sheath is for you. It's the best. You have to get a pair. Get one pair and it's going to change your life. Look, fellas and ladies, I know the idea of changing your brand for this kind of product is not something you think about often, but I promise it's worth the thought. Get one pair and it's going to change your life. The most comfortable boxer briefs you will ever put on your body. Their stretchy fabric is made out of a moisture wicking technology. They're super soft. They keep everything cool and comfortable right in place. It was a long time before I decided to try and make the change, and I absolutely love the product offering that Sheath has. Sheath is also the official underwear partner of the UFC, which is pretty cool too. Sheath is particularly useful for staying cool during the summer and while working out. The most unique thing about Sheath is that they have these dual pouches that keep your man parts separated, which prevents things from sticking together, keeps them right where they need to be. I was a little skeptical about the dual pouch, but let me tell you, it is in fact a game changer. And by the way, if you're not into that idea, you don't have to use them. Some days I do, some days I don't. They'll be the most comfortable pair of boxer briefs you've ever worn in your life. Plus they have brand new materials like bamboo and mesh for even more cooling. Go to sheath.com to get the most comfortable underwear you've ever worn and use promo code THEQUARTERING, that's one word, and you'll get 20% off your order. That's sheath.com, promo code THEQUARTERING for 20% off your order. I know it's weird to think about making that change, especially for guys, but I'm telling you, it's a high quality product. They've stuck with the channel through thick and thin, and absolutely love their product. And women love it too. You know, I've talked to Sid before, Sydney, and she really likes their stuff, so give them a try. This from Steven Crowder. Breaking. Department of Justice Chief of Public Affairs admits Trump indictments are politically motivated. This should immediately exonerate Trump of all these charges, by the way. Quote, perversion of justice reveals lawfare involved in making former president a convicted felon, backfired on Democrats, claims his former colleague Alvin Bragg's case is, quote, nonsense, and alleges that he was stacking charges. This guy works for the Department of Justice and is openly saying, yeah, they're corrupt. They're corrupt. The left cares about headlines. Meanwhile, the Department of Justice appears to be completely corrupt. You know, who knows now what's going on with, Tim Pools and Lauren Chen and Benny Johnson and their connection with tenant media. It's entirely likely to me that that's completely baloney sausage too. He was just stacking charges and rearranging things just to make it fit the case. I think the case is nonsense. It's a perversion of justice. I mean, a travesty of justice, a mockery of justice. The whole thing is disgusting. This is why Trump is surging in the polls. The Department of Justice admitted. Now, you're not going to see this covered anywhere else other than, of course, the great work that Steven Crowder does with his Mug Club Undercover. But if you haven't yet, share this video. And if you're a lurker and you're just a watcher on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey, make sure you create an account and follow me. I'm uploading 5 to 6 videos a day, plus I live stream every day at 1 Eastern. It's going to get nuts. It's going to get crazier before it gets better. It's my job to keep everyone informed. Exclusive Department of Justice of Public Affairs, Chief of Public Affairs admits Trump indictments are a joke. Nicholas Biazzi, Chief of Public Affairs, U.S. Department of Justice, U.S. Attorney's Office, Southern District of New York. He bragged with stacking charges and like rearranged things just so it can make it fit a case. No, honestly, I think the case against Trump is nonsense. Every real estate person in New York does what Trump did. Nobody ever has been charged with this. It's all him. That's why, like Trump is surging in the polls. It's a perversion of justice. So not only is the Department of Justice chief admitting that it's a sham, he is admitting it has backfired. This should immediately, the charges against Trump should be immediately dropped in New York right now. These real estate charges. Immediately. If they want to spare themselves any more injustice. Before Bragg decided to prosecute Trump, did you know who he was? Do you know Alvin Bragg, who we've known for 15 years, who used to work in my office? Alvin is very ambitious. The point of prosecuting Trump is to, quote, make him a convict. It affects his candidacy if he's a convicted felon. Quote, the Fannie Willis case in Fulton County is a travesty of justice. To put it mildly, it's a mockery of justice. She is a joke. The whole thing's disgusting. They're out just to get him. They also wrote the state level is like the effing Wild West. They're all idiots. They don't care. They're all political. They're obsessed with getting him. Every charge against Donald Trump should be immediately dropped. Every single charge should be immediately dropped after this. There's literally no question about it. Every single charge against Donald Trump should be dropped immediately. September 5th, Louder with Crowder's Undercover Unit released a new video revealing political lawfare against President Trump has faced for the last 18 months. Nicholas Biazzi, or BAs, I don't care, senior official of the U.S. District of Southern District, New York, explained what he calls a perversion of justice led to Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg to hurt the current Republican nominee's chances of the 2024 presidential election. I mean, this is nuts. They're out. I mean, the Fannie Willis case should be immediately dropped. I mean, the Department of Justice says that it's nonsense. You know, like, I mean, this is insane. I don't. It's right out here in the open now. Americans will not vote for a criminal, the Democrat machine, the swamp, and bad actors have falsely made Trump to be out a criminal. This revelation proves that Donald Trump is no criminal.
He was stacking charges and like rearranging things just to make it fit a case. Make the case is nonsense. It's a perversion of justice. To make him a convict, a convicted felon. It affects his candidacy if he's a convicted felon. It's a travesty of justice, a mockery of justice.
I mean, wow.
You'll be watching today is not the bad guy here. Unwitting whistleblower? Yeah. Nicholas Biazzi is the Chief of Public Affairs for the Department of Justice's Southern District of New York. Something you may be familiar with, and the most prominent federal trial court in America.
Those felonies did nothing to stop Trump from running.
No, in fact, they made him more relevant.
Yeah, see?
Did that backfire?
Sure did.
So he's admitting that the whole thing backfired.
Is disgusting. They're just out to get him. And that's why, like, he's surging in the polls.
By the way, check in on Trump in the polls, at least in the poly market, which again is only velocity, not really directional. He has a 7.2%. He's up 7.2 points. Doesn't really mean anything. He was up 70 points. I'm sorry, he was up like 50 or 60 points against Biden, but he is surging in the polls.
You know, it's a perversion of justice. He was stacking charges and like rearranging things just to make it fit a case. No, to be honest with you, I think the case is nonsense.
Nonsense.
Wild West. They're like like idiots. They don't care. They're all political. So yeah, this guy's probably going to try to lock him up, and it's going to be ugly.
They're going to try to lock him up. It's going to be ugly. I mean, you have to drop the charges immediately. You have to drop the charges against Trump immediately after this. This is an absolute bombshell. The Department of Justice internally saying, we don't even believe in these charges. How could the Supreme Court uphold this?
They're so obsessed with getting him.
Who is they?
Democrats.
Who I've known for 15 years. He used to work in my office. Before he
Sounds like he's out on a date with a younger woman. The old honeypot strikes again.
decided to prosecute Trump, did you know who he was? You do now. I'm not sure.
So right there, he admits that Alvin Bragg is just doing it for fame. He said he's been here for 15 years. Before he prosecuted Trump, did you know who he was? No.
What he wants to be, but I know he's not happy just being the DA of New York County. So Alvin's very ambitious. Every real estate person in New York does what he did. Nobody's ever been charged with this until him.
Mr. Biasi is just saying the quiet part out loud. The part that unfortunately matters. Lawfare? Yes. Why? Because Biasi openly says so. The ones from Alvin Bragg are a particular perversion of justice. How do you know? Because Biasi says so, and he's known him for 15 years. Election interference? At this point, is there any doubt?
Are those even actual felonies? Because I was pretty sure that.
He was stacking charges and like rearranging things.
So he admits right here that the charges against Trump were bogus, that he stacked things just to make it work. Complete bogus, bunk, nonsense. Not only should Alvin Bragg be immediately disbarred, but the charges against Trump should be immediately dropped, not just in New York, but also in Fulton County and anywhere else the corrupt Department of Justice has their tentacles. I mean, if they care about being trustworthy, if they care about people believing in them or believing that they actually care about stuff, I don't even understand what the play is here. These charges against Donald Trump should be immediately dropped. I hope you're informed by this video. I hope you share it. If you can, please do subscribe or follow down below. I know you might have to create an account, but it's the only way I can reach you consistently wherever you choose to watch. And I hope, and we'll talk to you again real soon.